Hello, this is the Depressed Dude. Making a video about my review of a Nintendo game today. I enjoyed the Nintendo Entertainment System quite a bit. Won games like Metroid, Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2, first three Mega Mans, won Simon's Quest, Metroid, Kid Icarus. I was not so good as to beat games like the Ninja Gaiden 1 or 2. I think I got farther in part 2 than 1. And like I said, I was not the greatest player of these games, but I did all right. Today, I'll be. Oh, yeah, and this Nintendo right here, this was like given to my fiance. I mean, this dude just said he didn't want it anymore. And she took it because she know what I'd like to have, like physical stuff, even though it is kind of. I mean, I got it like this. It was pretty rough shape. I should clean it off, but whatever. I doubt it even works. The Nintendo was finicky, not like the Super Nintendo. But yeah, like I said, it was a good system. I was probably more into the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Genesis had the cooler games. Super Nintendo had the JRPGs. So this one kind of fell by the wayside after a while. I did recently play on an emulator, Vice Project Doom, and that's the game I'm going to review. It came in the later life cycle of the Nintendo, basically when the Super Nintendo was already out, and that's probably why I didn't do so good. That, and you can see my cover picture. The artwork for the cover was horrible. They like to do that with some companies. Had some of the worst thing cover art you could ever imagine, just like that original Mega Man one. But yeah, the game itself is a combination of Ninja Gaiden and Batman for the Nintendo. It also has in a dash of Spy Hunter with the opening level and a level at the end where you're racing a car down the road and just blowing everybody up because you have to get a suspect. I mean, if only you could just do that. I mean, I just imagine all the people are just innocent bystanders and you're just gunning them down off the road. And after that level, you get to a platforming stage, and I had trouble in the first staying level of platforms because the girders would melt and fall out from beneath you, and there was knock back like crazy. But after I got past that level, it was pretty smooth sailing. I got past most of the bosses. The guy uses a laser whip, a magnum, and a grenade. The magnum is completely worthless. It goes. It has a shorter range than the grenade does. So apparently, this guy can chuck a grenade longer than a bullet can fly in the air. Then there's a shooter level stage I got it to, and these would be okay if you had unlimited bullets, but they didn't give you the same amount of bullets you had when you started the level, and near the end, it almost broke me. But yeah, I go through the first boss I had trouble was a sewer level boss, but once I looked up online his pattern, I had no trouble with him. And then the last levels come along. You've got another driving stage, which wasn't bad at all. Then you had another shooter stage. I had 20 bullets and 5 grenades, and I was cussing on that one. Just like my youth. That's what playing that game was like, bringing me back to my youth of just getting frustrated to the max. And then the final levels is, you have to go through a bunch of stuff where the girders are melting. You have to jump on a platform that is the size of a pixel. Ninjas are shooting up out of the ground, throwing shuriken. You jump back, of course, from getting hit, and you're falling into the pits. I don't know how I made it, but I managed to do it. And then I got to the last boss. The first form wasn't too bad. I was just having trouble with the controller. I don't know if it's a controller or because I'm using an emulator, and so I had a stiffer controller, I think, than usual. My finger was sore after playing this thing level, and but I managed to beat him, and then it turns into a second form. Like, are you kidding me? And then I got killed by that, and then they sent me all the way back. I'm like, no freaking way. It's like, dang. And then I get back to the hit, and it's like, sorry, you got to fight the first form again. And it's like, dang, even Ninja Gaiden, if you got to the next form, that'd be what you're fighting the second time around. So yeah, this game was a little bit bad and difficult at the end. Could I have won it back in my heyday? Hell no. That sewer boss would have made me give up, or I don't think the shooter stage would have, because you push the start button, you're right back in it, even if you lose all your lives. But that last level, No way. If I got into the last boss, he killed me, and I ended up all the way back to the start of the level. That's it. I would have just went. There's no way I could do it, man. I give up. Game over, man. But yeah, I only made it this time because of save states. I cheated. So what? I mean, the game's a good length. It took me nearly 4 hours with save states. So I mean, it would have been a good buy back in the day, I guess, and it would have definitely kept you going forever because you would have had to learn those things on visual cues and stuff. Uh, Three improvements it could have made: unlimited bullets at the shooting stages, so you don't have to worry about managing your bullets. When you get to the boss, you can send them back. If you lose all your lives, that's fine. But if you still got lives left, if you restart, you should start right at the boss. You don't even have to take any of his energy away. Just start you right at the boss. And that'd have been fine. And get rid of the dissolving girders would have been number 3. If you would have done those 3 things, it would have been a more manageable game, and I think I might have been able to win it. But other than that, is it a hidden gem? I wouldn't say it's that hidden. I mean, it's not really anything different. It's literally just Batman Ninja Gaiden mixed with a dash of seasoning that is Spy Hunter and that Punisher game that came out on the NES. But I mean, like I said, I'd say it's worth a play. I'm sure there's somebody I can go online and watch somebody like totally just tear through the game with no problem. I saw somebody do that with Russian Attack, and it's like some of the knife moves he were moving. He's like killing one person in front of him, behind him. I'm like, dang, these guys are good. Like I said, I'm not in that class, never was. I'm never going to claim to be a super expert at video games. I'm good at a JRPG because all you have to do with those is keep plugging, and if you can't beat somebody, go out and get stronger, and you can eventually. So my final verdict is I gave it a 7 out of 10. Had good graphics. The music was okay but forgettable. I can't remember a single tune. The difficulty, I say it's more difficult than Ninja Gaiden because I don't think I could have made the last boss in this game. I got the last boss in Ninja Gaiden, and it's definitely harder than the Chaos Sword. I think I came close to winning that one. I may have won it. I don't know. I've seen the ending, and I'm like, that looks familiar. Maybe I did win that one. But this one, yeah, it's a little hard. But yeah, next game I review will either be a Master System game or a Genesis game. I'm not sure which. I love the Genesis. It's a very good system, or very arcade system. Has better shoot 'em ups than the Super Nintendo. Like the Super Nintendo better overall, but people get a little bit too carried away with the Super Nintendo's glitz, and it's got a slow ass processor, guys. It plays a JRPG, great. It's great for those, but if for anything with a bunch of pixels on the screen, it isn't the best machine in the world. I think the Game Boy Advance had a faster processor. But yeah, anyway, but like I said, I still like the Super Nintendo better than the Genesis, mainly because JRPG, I'm a JRPG junkie. So, I don't know, and if anyone wants to comment a game or something on a Sega Master System, that one I never had. Wish I did, because it's actually a little bit more powerful than a Nintendo. Because I've seen games on it that they made for the Nintendo, and they look better on that one. But yeah, anything you want to see, just let me know. Also, if you could just like the video if you watch it. I mean, I don't get too many views here on my little station, but then again, I'm a depressed person. Who the hell wants to see that? Anyway, I hope everybody has a good day. And check out my short from yesterday. I had a bad rain, and I mean, it was flooded bad. And it's like, oh, the water's gone today. And the drainage ditch and everything was full. I'm like, dang, I wish I could have jumped in there with some shorts and rode the current. But yeah, at my age, I would, yeah, no. Anyway, good. Have a good one, guys.